traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to this week's Trade Zone Asian session open. So we are still waiting for a few markets to come online, mainly stock index futures, and but we do have FX up and running, and we're seeing a little bit of mixed trade after a very mixed session on Friday. So we can see here that the pound and the Aussie are slightly lower while the euro was higher. Now the dollar, as we can see in front of us, it had a bit of a mixed end to last week, so we do remember those 2 days of nice rallies. It put in another weekly high before sellers came in and basically cut that out, and we did see the market close lower. Now looking at the risk currencies, we saw a very strong move higher to end the week, and that was across the Aussie, and I'll just update this one here, and we can see a very firm pullback on the euro, but that was after a couple of days decline, and the pound as well, like the Aussie, finished the week on a bit of a high, still sort of floating around this sort of resistance area though. So it wasn't the same against the JPY though. We saw a pretty different picture, so things were a little bit less there's a bit of less confidence around. So you can see this morning we have had a gap lower, so it's sort of just pushed to a tiny bit of a higher close. Big decline on the euro, and the pound as well saw a bit of a decline with a gap lower to start the new week. Now one of the key winners were obviously stocks last week. We'll touch on them. That's excluding the Nasdaq, but gold has been a real big winner, and we can see the move that has put on Friday, and we can see another really strong move now, all the way back up to getting quite close to retesting that previous high there at 2078. It didn't quite get there, but we will continue to watch it this week. Now, over the week, there was a little bit of news driving it. There was an attack on a US warship over the weekend. That was via drones. Now, the ceasefire also has been broken in Gaza, and there is renewed fighting between the IDF and Hamas. So there's a few things going on at the moment that are driving gold. Now, a weaker dollar also adds to that. So gold's definitely one to watch this week. Is it getting a little bit overextended? Possibly. We'll have to just keep an eye on that. It is approaching, it's starting to get close to a weekly, band of area of resistance has kept it in check all the way back to 2020. So you can see this high here, and we can see that level, this running across there at really to 2076.50, maybe up to 2076.60, and that level has really been holding buyers at bay since 2020. So if you keep an eye on the weekly chart this week, it's going to be interesting to see if price can get back up to test that band, and if we could even see a break above that band, taking price to back into new record highs. What we do want to see though is a close. If we do just see a tail run up there once again, and then we see price pull back down again, I don't think that really gives us that confidence that's going to continue. It is quite extended at the moment after last week, so we haven't really seen an extended rally like that really for a fair few weeks now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next, if we do see a push up, and if it can actually close and hold above those highs. So gold's definitely one we'll be keeping an eye on over the next few days. Now silver as well, obviously not as exciting as gold, but we did see another push up, and we will look to see, it is trading above this high now, so we'll continue to see if it can get back up to sort of into those deep to the high 25s. Platinum as well, we've seen nowhere near sort of the interest and drive that we are seeing on gold and silver, but we'll see if it can get a little bit of carry on momentum, get back up to test that 945 area, maybe even a break out of it. But really, if you are looking at precious metals at the moment, the real focus is gold at the moment, and obviously it's been driven by a few geopolitical issues as well as a weaker dollar. So there's a bit going on with it at the moment, and it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And yeah, just check out that level, watch that level on the weekly chart. So now without this carrying on and on and on about gold, a few other markets, oil. So I'm definitely watching oil today. We want to see if this is a new continuation lower. There's a lot of talk going on with oil. So there's been a few things going out in industry, and I think things are moving into quite an interesting area with fossil fuels in general. Now, even the IMF chief was making a case for carbon credits, and all of this is sort of starting to push forward this really this date, this idea of peak fossil fuels. Really, I'm not going to say peak oil, but more peak fossil fuels. Oil's not going to vanish, but definitely it's going to be interesting, its transition as demand starts to slowly move away from it. This isn't obviously going to happen next year. It's going to take a period of time, but things happen a lot faster in the markets, and obviously we can see that. So we can see this decline it's seeing. It is trying to hold up a little bit above 73.05, but we will be looking to see if sellers can get back down to test this area this week or even break it. And if we do break this low here, it'll be quite interesting to see if it gets back down into the 60s. So even with the OPEC meeting last week, it's still we're just not still seeing that confidence and in oil at the moment. So I'm definitely not saying it's over and out, but it is interesting to see at the moment just how much selling is going on. And even when we just had that brief touch, of us, trying to get back up to 79.5, closing in, sort of trying to get back up to that 80 area, straight away it was knocked down. We saw a lot of selling, and Friday is just another example of a failed rally. A new push lower, new weekly lows being made. So we're going to see this week if the bears do continue to run, and if we do see a new move back down to test this area at 72.94 or below. So other than that, there's obviously a few. We will be doing the key the economic calendar video after this, so that will be released a little bit later. But crypto as well, there's been still a couple of moves on crypto. It is trading in the positive again this morning. SHIB is lower at this stage, but we are seeing majority of the top 10 trading higher. Gains aren't astronomical at this point, but we are seeing a bit of a couple ones. Well, really one that's in front of Polkadot at the moment, and we can see a little push here after that continuation. So I think this Polkadot will need to get up to test these highs here, and if it can get through there, we'll look to see if it can get back up to towards maybe to try and test that 6. Now some of the other keys, Bitcoin is back above 38, and it's trading at 39 at the moment, and it's continuing to push higher. So nice little breakout last week is continuing to run, and if we just have a look weekly here, we can see it's quite extended this trend now. We can see that breakout that we were just looking at on the daily, and but there's no real key resistance really until we get back up to 46. So we are wondering if we're going to see these things continue for Bitcoin, and it is doing everything right. Got higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high. That was a bit of a lower low, but we'll let that one slip. We've got another higher low, and then we've got obviously the breakout with another higher high. So trend structure looks good, and it's continuing to do the right things. Maybe we'll see another pullback before we see another real push higher. But with cryptos, that anything's really possible in terms of parabolic runs. We've seen that plenty of times before. So we'll continue to see if it's going to just continue to grind on. It was a great weekend. Like I said, there's some good gains on crypto over the weekend, and we can see Ethereum as well back above that 22 points. So we can see last week that really nice push higher. Some of the other markets that had seen a little bit of selling was Canado, for instance, after this bit of a mess here. Now we are starting to see a bit of drive higher. There is some resistance here, though. We want to see a break in this area, and this area here, and we want to see it clear it, break it, and just get above. And so, but it is in a nice pattern formation of an ascending triangle. I won't drag on too much with cryptos, but some of the other bigger ones. So Ripple, after that selling, it is starting to make a little bit of a move now, but we do want to see this mini range beaten, and then we just want to see prices start to started growing back up to make up some of the, that ground that's been lost. Solana, we'll just finish with, has had a very nice push over. I'll just update that. Very nice push over the weekend, so we can see Friday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It did get back up to test that 65 area, so we'll just continue to see if it can continue to hold above that 60-61 area, and if we can see another push back up to test some of those previous highs. And yeah, we're just going to continue to see how stock indexes run this week. The US 30 had a fantastic end to the week. We can see that move higher here. The US 2000, which is the Russell, had an amazing session as well to finish Friday. And the Nasdaq, though, wasn't so confident. It was a small move up to finish the week, but we will be watching some of those stock indices this week to see if that momentum can carry on. And it wasn't just over those. We can see here on the German 30, beautiful finish to the week, and we're getting very close to back up to these levels at 16,500 to sort of test those highs. So some really good runs at the moment, risk wise, and it hasn't just been really FX or crypto wise. We're seeing some beautiful runs on gold and stock indices at the moment. So it's pretty broad, and it looks like risk appetite until Friday anyway. It's been pretty solid. Crypto is leading the way this morning. It's pretty solid as well. So we'll see if stock indices can continue their runs, and we'll just see. Also, we'll be talking about some of the key news that comes out this week in the second update that will be released in a little bit later today. So that's it for today's update. Thank you very much for your time. Have a fantastic week. Wish you all the best with your trading. Make sure you keep an eye on gold on the weekly at that level, and obviously some of the cryptos if that's your thing, and stock indices. And we'll see if oil will continue to move lower, and the dollar index as well. If we are going to see that little momentum shift on Friday, if that's going to continue to push on. So thank you very much again. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week. Thank you very much for watching today's update, and all the best, and bye for now.